Hi, I'm Gio Nair.
Hi, I am Aganesh.
Hi, I'm Bhuvanesh. Hi, I'm Shalini. Hi, I'm Priyanka.
Hi, I'm Sachin Rambia. Now myself and Priyanka are going to have an interview section with Dr. Nagri. Come, let's go. I'm Sachin Rambia and she is Priyanka. It's been a great day for us to be given opportunity to ask you a few questions and it be a moment of learning for us. Priyanka will start up the questions.
Thank you, Sasi. So, will you share with us about your background from young until now?
From young until now, okay, yes. I think you all know my name, Arunigesh Shanmugam. Actually, my hometown is Snaptani. I'm actually born and bred here. And my father was attached to JKR, and my mom was actually housewife. And I'm actually born together with another three siblings. So I'm the youngest in the family. What else you all? Okay.
So now you're going to now you're going to the second question.
Okay.
How did you make your first step into education as a career?
Okay, well, way back, I think about 20, 20 to 28 years before, I've done my STPM. So while waiting for STPM results, I was like actually looking for a job. It's normal for people to look for some part-time job while waiting for the results, right? So at that time, I got the opportunity to give some tuitions, okay, for primary school students, as well as I was working as a temporary teacher in primary schools for I think almost 6 months. Okay, so that's actually my first step for to be in a academic line in the education.
So, why do you want to work with Ames University and how long have you been working there?
Okay, to answer this question, basically it's like not to say I want to work in Ames University. Basically, it's like one of the university, okay, one of the private university, and I've been here for past 17 years plus. Okay, it's almost 18 years. Okay, so this is my third workplace. Okay, so the first two also in academic line. So when you look at it, Ames University, when you look at the facilities, when you look at the society itself, the community is actually in this university is with multi races, like all kind of ethnics are there. You have Malays, Indians, and Chinese for both students and staff. So it's in a way that when you have your career, you shouldn't be like focused into one ethnic. Try to go with multi ethnics in a way that you should know how to able to communicate with them. Why I'm telling that so because being an academician, you shouldn't be looking into like one particular ethnic and then working like that. You have to go in a way that you should be delivering your teachings into various aspects, various perspectives. So in a way that you should know the culture of everyone. Okay. Okay.
So can you give an overview of your duties, functions and responsibility of your job, sir?
Okay, being a senior lecturer in Faculty of Business and Management, of course, our main job is teaching, which is we have to lecture the subjects assigned to us, as well as including lecturing, including tutorials, as well as there are certain academic related administrative work. Like for example, when you teach, of course, you need to prepare the exam papers. You have to advise your mentees. So those mentees are actually the students who are actually pursuing the degree program. So these are the I rather say that it's actually secondary duties. Our prime duties is more into teaching and learning. Yeah? So it's like you have to deliver your lectures as well as assessing the students.
And what makes you different from other lecturers, sir?
Okay, for the past almost 22, 24 years of teaching experience, of course, as I said, nobody's perfect. Okay, I've learned my teaching skills from many people, my seniors, colleagues. At the same time, I've tried various method of teaching, and I've teach various levels of students. Okay, like for example, my first workplace was like, okay, as I said, as a temporary teacher for primary school kids. So talking about primary school kids, they are really like they are uncontrollable. Okay, they always of course there are few students are smart students, but there will be a few students also naughty, you know, so you should know how to control the class. Okay, and that's the first point that I believe, that when you really go into their level first, go down to to the students' level and pull their attention towards your side. Okay, so of course primary school kids not easy to handle. Okay, it's quite difficult. Okay, after that my career was teaching the working adults. Okay, the part-time students. Okay, so part-time students, of course, at that point of time their age gap is there. So I was like, you know, at the beginning of middle of 20s, late 30s, you know, and they are actually already 40s. So in that way, you should know how to talk to them. First of all, their experience is actually plays an important role. So they must share their experience. So those experiences, like sometimes you can't say, you can't ignore those people, you know, those experience, you know. You have to listen to them. So I say you must go down to their level and see what is their needs, and then you pull them back to your side. Okay, and in a way that you mentioned that what is actually different compared to others, I don't like to compare with others. Okay, but my objective in teaching is like make sure that student understand. Okay, how do I see whether the student understand or not? Basically from the assessment, whether they understand in a way that they can answer the exam questions or not. And the other thing is like I want my students to be very much disciplined in a way. Okay, self-discipline has to be there. Okay, if you don't have the self-discipline, you wouldn't be able to you know, concentrate, focus in your learning process. So in that way, I think if you keep on asking me the questions of compared to the others, ability to control the class is there. I can say that. Okay.
So, what are the skills that are most important in your position in this field? For your position in this field?
Passion. Okay, you should be like you should keen in learning first of all. Okay, you see, when it comes to teaching line, you are actually educating somebody. Okay, so even in our you know those days community, they used to say that the word guru. Okay, they used to have like a small village school, and the way how they teach, you know. So it's like you have to respect them, right? So the first thing is like you should respect others. At the same time, then you gain the respect. That's one thing. And then main thing is, as I said, is the passion. You should be passion in a way that you should have the interest. Okay, when you like to deliver your teaching, okay, first of all you should learn that first. Okay, then if you notice that you can't explain or you can't answer to any one of the questions which has been posted by any one of your students, the first thing, let's say at that moment, you shouldn't be saying no, I don't know. Don't say that. You as a teacher, you as an educator, you should be able to answer the question. Maybe at that not at that point of time, but you may say that, you know, give me some time, I may go back and come back to you. So this is what. So make sure that you have answered the student. Okay, don't simply just let them go, you know, in a blur situation. Okay, so first thing is like being a teacher, being a lecturer, being an academician. First of all, you should be knowing your substance. You should know your subject. Don't simply just go and teach just like that. Okay, of course, practice makes perfect, but eventually, sometimes nobody is perfect. You see, so you have to learn. Okay, maybe it is nothing for you. As I said, like, you know, some subjects I've been teaching more than 10 years, but I have to go through the slides. I have to go through the questions. I cannot be simply just go to class and just blah 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 like that, isn't it? Okay, so you have to prepare first. For you to have the preparation to be complete, you should have passion, and at the same time, passion is actually comes together with interest. You don't have interest to convince people to listen to you, and you are not becoming an academician. Okay, you should be able to convince. Okay.
So, and what are your success habits and what motivates you? And what are the challenges you faced when you graduate your PhD?
Okay. Success. As I said, the challenges. Okay, I think I focus on my challenges first. Okay. Challenges while I'm doing my studies, of course, being an undergraduate student, like how you all are, is like full-time studies. You study, go back, style, come back, study. That is normal. But when you start to work and you study, you will know the pinch. What I'm trying to say, like you will know the difficulty in a way that you are studying with a complex situation. Okay, you are no longer like full-time studying. You are also completing part of the job which has been assigning to you, and partly you also need to study. So your time management. You don't know how to manage your time, you're out of the picture. Okay, especially for my PhD, it's like I had a tough time. Of course, in between of my PhD completion, I had some health issues, and most of the PhD candidate will have this. Okay, sometimes the health issues become severe. Sometimes it's like okay, tolerable, can be compromised, can be treated. Okay, so how you taking it? Okay, so don't be like too stressed. Okay, and then you have to be focused. Even though you spend 1 hour to look into your studies, okay, don't simply just doing it for the sake of okay lah, quantity 1 hour, which has to be quality 1 hour. Okay, because as I say, while you do your work, while you are working and you're doing your studies, time management is very, very important. You don't know how to manage your time, you don't know how to manage your other aspects of your family, like especially like as being a married man with kids, and you have to look into all those aspects. It's not easy. So time management is very, very important. Okay.
As you said just now, that you will make sure the students understand your actual, like with their assessments.
Mhm.
So can we know how do you evaluate them?
Of course, in terms of teaching, the way how they answer the questions, like normally I used to teach them that I will move forward in terms of imagining that if the students already complete their exams, complete their assessment, how the answer would be. So normally I will share the past experience of the previous senior students' mistakes. Of course, we will not be revealing their names and so on. It's not ethical, but you can say that these are the common mistakes students can do. So in a way, you are helping the candidates, like don't do this kind of mistakes again. You try to be away, keep away yourself from these mistakes. So you're already guiding them, you see. So you are telling them what to do, what not to do during the assessment. Okay. So of course, every student will sit for exams, assignments, presentations. But we are guiding them in advance. We are telling them, okay, these are the do and don'ts for your presentation. So you should be able to do it accordingly. So from there we will know. But at the same time, of course, not every students are the same. There are students who are weak students. So in order to handle those weak students, we should be able to looking into what are their capabilities, what are their talents or the skills that they have, which the other students doesn't have. So you should not be ignoring all those weak students. Despite you should be having better motivation level for these weak students, because there might be some reasons why they are like that. Okay, so you should know how to bring back to your attention and tell them what they should do, what they should not do in order to success in any subject, means in order to pass any subjects, okay, to get through the assessment. So of course assessment is only marks, but knowing that currently all the private institutions and also government higher education institutions are looking forward for the students to complete their program based on outcome. That means like what you ought to be, that means what you're supposed to be. So when you know that the student has to be a lawyer, so what a lawyer should be having, okay, in these students. So you should train them in that way. Like for example, you are doing financial subjects, so your numerical skills has to be at least 50% and above. You should be able to grab figures, numbers, should be able to understand the knowledge. So you should not be like telling that, okay, well, I don't know about this calculation, well, I forgot about it. So it's like when you teach them certain things, like you should impart them, tell the knowledge that this is very much applicable in your lifelong. Okay, like when you want to know how much interest payment that you're paying, so definitely you're going to bound yourself with any kind of loans. Now itself you are bound with your PDPDN loan. So how much of interest that you're paying, so you should know how to evaluate and calculate those amount of interest. So That's how you must tell them that whatever that you are learning is not necessarily is going to be applicable directly, it's going to be indirectly, but it depends as when you need it. So, of course, syllabus curriculum coverage is one side, but other than that, what the students need to have.
So, what are the qualities for a student they need to have to build up a bright career?
Build up a bright career. Okay, first of all, it's self-discipline. Okay, you've been brought up with your parents. Your parents, of course, definitely will have taught you the best thing, all the good habits. So one of it, of course, is discipline. Okay, when you're already self-disciplined, you should be able to have your time management, proper time management. Okay, so once you have your proper time management, you should know how to manage your studies as well as other activities. Knowing students who are supposed to be a graduate, okay, they're going to be graduate upon their graduation. They're going to be a graduate, fresh graduate. Eventually, we're going to name them as a fresh graduate. But what the industry actually looking from this graduate, not only fully on your curriculum part, you should be able to also mingle with society, mingle with community, to whichever community that you're going to attach to. For example, when you look at it, you're referring to a bright future. The student should be able to converse, able to communicate, able to express their ideas, okay, rather than just looking at their exam papers and answering the questions, getting A. It's like more than that. It has to be in that way, okay. Other than that, you should be able to understand and respect other people's culture, okay, tolerate with other people's styles of forming a style of doing work, okay, in a way that communication skills, your presentation skills, the way how you self-discipline, all these are going to be factors to be, to brought up a student to, for their brighter future. So in a way that don't fully consider on academic. Academic, of course, it has to be there. That's the base. That's the basic. But eventually, once you join a career, they will not look into your results forever. They will start to assign all kind of challenges job. So how are you going to face those jobs? How are you going to complete those jobs? Okay, let's say you need to complete a project. So you need to go around and talk to them. Talk to whom? The other people. And those people are senior people. So you're going to gain respect of yourself from them. So you must understand, basically you are supposed to be good in both soft skills as well as academic skills. So soft skills, what I'm trying to say, your communication, the way how you respect people, the way how you dress yourself, the way how you manage yourself, self-discipline, these are the things. So it's like, it's not like simply focusing on only on academic. Okay?
So if you did not become an educationist, what will be your next choice?
Okay, my basic degree was related to banking and finance. So my choice was actually I wanted to go to banking line, but I ended up with academic. Of course, there was an interest. Okay, despite that, I'm also thought of becoming a lawyer. Okay, so but God decided me to. I believe in what I'm doing, so it's like, this is my life, so I just accepting it as positive. Okay, in a way that I'm bringing up children, I'm actually teaching them, I'm educating them. So actually when you look at it, it is not the job that you're actually getting a high pay, you're actually getting some satisfaction out of the job that you're performing. So I actually believe in that. Okay.
So thank you for giving us a wonderful time and wonderful opportunity to interview sir, and thanks for your precious time, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.